Hello viewers, welcome to Because They See. This is your host, your chef Manchawan, and today we are going to make one of the easiest recipes that you can find in a baking competition. So this is bread pudding. Okay, now remember today's recipe is gonna be with no oven. Okay, so I'm going to make it easy for everyone to explore this recipe. So let's get started. So let's get started with making the bread pudding. We have 3 medium-sized eggs here. We'll whisk all these 3 eggs really well till they are frothy. So I have whisked the eggs. Okay, I'm gonna leave this aside. And I have a pan here. Remember, this is gonna be caramel bread pudding. So let's start with the caramel. I have 3 tablespoons of sugar. I will add 2 tablespoons of milk to the caramel. At this point, I'll simply add a small piece of butter. You can see the beautiful color for the caramel, don't you? Now what are we going to do is, the sugar has caramelized. We are going to use a cake tin like this. If you do not have a round, you can use any shape. I'm not going to grease this. I'm simply going to transfer the caramel into the pan. Remember, this is super hot, so just be careful, okay? Now in the same pan, okay, we're going to add 2 cups of milk. Remember, I'm not putting on the flame. The flame is completely off. I'm just making use of the heat which was already there in the pan. 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Okay, so this is better, right? Okay, so we have the vanilla in there already. We have half teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Now this is completely optional. Half teaspoon of cardamom powder. Give it a mix. So I have a real small tin of condensed milk. Now if you do not have condensed milk, that is fine. You can just use half cup of white sugar. I'm gonna add this to the milk. I'll keep this aside. Now get back the eggs. Okay, so inside the egg we are gonna add the bread. Now I know this is the bread pudding, so of course Man is not forgetting the bread. So what I did here is I have 2 cups of crumbs of bread. Now this is a fresh bread. So what I did is I took off the brown side of the bread. You can use any bread. It could be a sliced bread, a brown bread. Just take off the sides which is brown. Try to use the white part of the bread. Okay, so let me add this to the egg. We'll mix this. And now the goodness of milk, we will add it to the mix. Now the milk is still a bit warm, so we'll put some and give it a whisk because we don't want scrambled eggs here. And the rest of the portion. And we have 3 tablespoons of butter. So this is salted butter that I'm using, so I don't need to add any extra salt in this. So after 10 minutes of waiting, we don't have to wait anymore. We have the caramel here. We'll pour the batter. Now I'm pouring half the batter. And I have 1 tablespoon of golden raisins. Now this step is optional, but I like it to add a few surprises. And then the rest of the batter. What's next? We cover it with an aluminium foil. So what's next is we take a vessel like this, a big vessel. We leave the gas on the medium flame. We put a small vessel or a plate because we don't want the pudding to touch to the vessel completely. To this I will add a liter of water and we'll put the pudding inside the vessel. and cover it with a plate. Now if you're using an oven, you will preheat the oven on 160 degrees. Leave the pudding tray inside for about 30 to 35 minutes. Now this is going to rest here for about 30 to 35 minutes too, okay? Now let me show you how to check that the pudding is done. I took off the aluminium foil from the top and I'll put a knife inside, and if it comes out clean, okay, if you see if it comes out clean, that means it is cooked. Cut it from the edges just to release the pudding. Now I'm going to use a plate, okay, a plate, and flip it over. Give it few knocks. And now the moment of truth. Let's see. Let me cut out a piece for you. Are you excited? Look at how beautiful it has come out. Now this is an amazing treat that you will love to make for your family. I shall see you soon. Bye bye.